Oh man, I love this scarf. I'm glad Tails picked it out for me. I know, I was there when you bought it. And I had a fun time with this movie. Higher, further, faster. Of course Sonic had to be the one to say faster. What did you expect? I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. Of course, Sonic the Hedgehog, the fastest hedgehog in the multiverse. What else is new? Now that the four of us have gathered, let us begin. The Marvels is the latest entry in Phase 5 of the MCU. It is a sequel to Captain Marvel, following Captain Marvel herself, played by Brie Larson, Monica Rambeau, played by Tiana Paris, who reprises her role from WandaVision, and lastly, we have Kamala Khan, played by Iman Vellani, who reprises her role from her very own Disney Plus series, Miss Marvel. The three of them have to team up after they switch places, as seen in the final episode of Miss Marvel. This happens as Monica Rambeau investigates a wormhole that involves the Kree, and the three of them have to figure out why they are swapping places with one another, and to team up to go after a new threat. And of course, Samuel L. Jackson returns as the Great Nick Fury. Before this movie came out, I questioned how it tied in with Secret Invasion. I mean, Maria Hill and Talos were killed by Gravik in the show. Plus, Secret Invasion was a huge letdown. Yeah, out of all the Disney Plus shows we've gotten from Marvel Studios, Secret Invasion is by far the worst. Much worse than She-Hulk. Oh God, I tried all year to try to forget about the infamous twerk scene involving Megan Thee Stallion. Exactly, we don't do that. I know I've done the floss in the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie, as well as Robotnik in the second movie, but we don't twerk. It's just, what the actual fuck? You couldn't have said it any better, Sonic. If I did that in front of Aurora, she would disown me. Amy would also disown me. So anyway, the Marvels. Oh look, the Hedgehog Twins seeing a Marvel movie. Oh whoop-de-fucking-do! Fiddly-doo, fiddly-dick. It's everyone's least favorite Dr. O'Fucknick. And then there's Calvin, and the wolf with 2 bathrobes. Hey, I love both my maroon and blue robes, thank you very much. Whatever you say, David Corn Sweat. You can fuck right off, Eggman. Okay, Eggman, you made your point. Now get lost! Before I get lost, I'm guessing the four of you got out from seeing the Marvels? Yeah, what of it? I heard that movie was garbage, but nowhere near as garbage as Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, or Eternals, or Secret fucking Invasion! Yeah, we had several problems with those movies, and Secret Invasion, but we had a fun time with the Marvels. Yeah, what crappy movie are you seeing today? Well, it's not crappy, but I am seeing Killers of the Flower Moon. I heard good things about that one. I heard it's miles better than Oppenheimer, but I'll just see for myself. I'm guessing it's miles better than Barbie, too. Oh, God! Don't get me started on Barbie! That movie was an eyesore, all because Rouge forced me to see it. I hated every second of Barbie. Barbie was really damned funny. I didn't find it funny. Now if you'll excuse me, my fine ass pixies, my movie starts in 5 minutes. I'm out of here! Alright, now that Eggman is gone, let's begin. Alrighty then, since we got that pandemonium out of the way, this is our thoughts on the Marvels. And just letting you guys know now, this will be our last film review for a while, because there will only be 2 Sonic and Sonic film reviews in 2024. There will be Deadpool 3 and Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Any other film reviews uploaded in 2024 will be Macaroni 76 film reviews. Thanks for letting us know, David. Anyway, that's it for introductions. Without further ado, here are our thoughts on the latest film entry in Phase 5 of the MCU. This is The Marvels. Take it away, Sonic! Right, so before you see this movie, you're required to watch every episode of WandaVision and every episode of Miss Marvel on Disney+. Otherwise, you'll be lost. But don't worry, this movie has a way of catching you up if you don't have a Disney Plus subscription. Well, not enough people saw Miss Marvel because it was being overshadowed by Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I can see why some people probably miss Miss Marvel. But for us, we just watch every single episode of Miss Marvel and WandaVision. After Carol Danvers destroyed the Supreme Intelligence on Hala, the Kree homeworld, there's been a Kree civil war, where the planet was left without air, water, or sunlight. The new leader of the Kree, Dar-Ben, who is the most forgettable MCU villain ever, finds one of the 2 quantum bands, in which Kamala Khan possesses the other. A bangle given to her by her grandmother in the Miss Marvel series. Dar-Ben possesses an accuser's hammer, kind of like what Ronan used in Guardians of the Galaxy. Since the Infinity Stones are lost in time, she uses the power of the quantum band to pair it with a hammer and tear open a jump point in space. Meanwhile with Kamala Khan, she fantasizes teaming up with Captain Marvel, which is her lifelong dream as we see in the Ms. Marvel series. She lives with her family in Jersey City, and in the last episode of Ms. Marvel, it is revealed that she is actually a mutant. Monica Rambeau is working for Saber, which is different from S.H.I.E.L.D. and S.W.O.R.D. from WandaVision. And that's where we see Nick Fury spearheading the operation. Now this begs the question, how does Secret Invasion tie into this? I'll tell you the answer to that, David. It doesn't, because there's absolutely zero acknowledgement of the events of Secret Invasion in this movie. No mention of Gravik, no mourning the deaths of Maria Hill or Talos, no overpowered Super Skrulls played by Emilia Clarke, and no bullshit theories about Rhodey being a Skrull in Infinity War and Endgame. That is how awful Secret Invasion is! Secret Invasion will go down in infamy as the worst Marvel show on Disney+. Literally nobody gave two fucks about Secret Invasion. We kept asking people, hey, have you seen Secret Invasion? And they would just tell you no, and that it doesn't mean jack shit to them. Of course we saw it, and we just gave absolutely zero fucks. I mean, She-Hulk had its moments, but there was nothing memorable about Secret Invasion, and no indication that the events of Secret Invasion took place. It's like Nick Fury just shrugs it off and thinks everything is all hunky-dory with the rest of the Skrulls who were not allied with Gravik, that they could carry on without Talos to protect them like there was not a care in the world. Yes, there are Skrulls in this movie, but they make absolutely zero mention of Gravik or his actions in Secret Invasion. And don't get me started on the opening title screen of Secret Invasion. It is a fucking eyesore! So if one were to do an epic Marvel marathon leading up to the Marvels, you're better off skipping Secret Invasion. Or just skip it period and stay far away from it. Okay, if we're done bashing Secret Invasion here, I'd like us to continue, please. Zowie Sonic. Nick Fury is hosting peace talks between the Skrulls and the Kree, and he calls in Carol Danvers and Monica Rambeau to investigate a jump point anomaly near the space station. Monica, who Carol calls Lieutenant Trouble, is very emotionally distant from Carol because she wasn't there for her when her mother Maria died from cancer while she blipped. Carol, of course, had her own shit to take care of, like destroying the Supreme Intelligence. Her destruction of Hala's resources led the Kree to call her the Annihilator, as she's the one responsible for Hala's downfall. And of course, Carol has her pet Flarkin, Goose, a cat who secretly hides tentacles in her mouth. And when Monica comes in contact with the anomaly, the unthinkable happens. Her powers become entangled with that of Carol and Kamala. So all throughout the movie, the three of them switch places whenever they use their light-based abilities. Of course, the Westview hex gave Monica her powers, which, if you've seen WandaVision, you should know by now. It's a no-brainer if you're all caught up with the Disney Plus shows. This swapping of places is first seen in the final episode of Ms. Marvel, where we see Carol crash into Kamala's bedroom after Kamala uses her abilities. This is a result of Dar-Ben using the other Bengal's power to create anomalies that fuck with their powers. And then, we get fight sequences in 3 different locations against the Kree, including Kamala's house, which is then destroyed to smithereens. So the Khan family has no choice but to spend the second half of the movie in space at the Saber space station. I highly doubt Ms. Marvel is going to end up getting a second season. They literally marketed it as a miniseries. Same with Secret Invasion, WandaVision, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So that means it was created to be only 1 season long. Not cancel it after 1 season, just 1 season, and that's it. If we're gonna see Kamala Khan again, it's most likely gonna be in another movie, and not another Disney Plus series. I guess Kevin Feige wasn't kidding when he said that the shows will be interconnected with the movies. Yeah, I mean, Anthony Mackie's getting his own Captain America movie, which is Captain America Brave New World. So the 3 heroes have to work together to fight the Kree, and they come face to face with Dar-Ben, whose quantum bane absorbs Captain Marvel's energy blasts. And the 3 of them head over to Tarnax, a planet that is home to a Skrull refugee colony. Again, not a single peep about Gravik or the shit that went down in Secret Invasion. While there, Dar-Ben opens another jump point, sealing the planet's air so that the Kree living on Hala can breathe and not use special masks to breathe. I do not even want to be reminded of the time I was tortured with a poison dagger, thank you very much. Also, this sounds awfully familiar. If anybody has seen Spaceballs, this movie copies Spaceballs! Holy shit, you're right. It is exactly like Spaceballs. They try to evacuate most of the Skrulls living on that planet. Then we get an unexpected cameo. Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie. Yeah, but it didn't last very long. Just a small 2-minute cameo, and then bye-bye! Here she uses the Bifrost to teleport over to the Marvel ship, where she agrees to take the remaining Skrulls supposedly to New Asgard for a safe sanctuary. But as we learned in Secret Invasion, Earth is no longer safe for the Skrulls. But it's like Kevin Feige gave 0 shits and thought it was a good idea to send Skrulls to New Asgard when the final episode of Secret Invasion proved that Earth is no longer a safe planet for Skrulls. We get it, Sonic! Secret invasion is awful! Tell us something we don't know! Speaking of wasted potential, Brie Larson's cameo appearance in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is 100% pointless and it went nowhere. However, it didn't go nowhere for Bruce Banner, but for Carol Danvers, no. That cameo was completely pointless. So after Valkyrie takes the Skrulls to New Asgard via the Bifrost, the Marvels then work together to see what they can do about their quantum entanglement that's affecting their powers. They do a bunch of different exercises like juggling balls and do a double Dutch jump rope, something I've never done in my life. I did double Dutch jump rope by myself in the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I'm terrible at double Dutch. I tried it once when I was a wolf cub, and I don't think I'm ready for that. It may look difficult, but once you have the rhythm and timing down, you can do it. It is then that Carol determines that the quantum bands, including Kamala's bangle, are responsible for the jump points, and that their powers became entangled due to their mutual contact with its energy when Dar-Ben disrupted it, with Dar-Ben's repeated rupturing of jump points causing instability to the network and endangering the universe. Carol then suggests they use a Skrull torture device that they use to look through their memories to find coordinates to Dar-Ben's next destination. Basically, the memory scanner from Meet the Robinsons, but weirder. While Kamala finds the coordinates using this method, Monica sees something she doesn't want to see. Carol and Maria's last moment together before her death after Monica blips. And some clips from WandaVision for the 20% of the audience who can't afford Disney+. They later learn that Dar-Ben is after water, and that a planet mostly populated by an ocean is their next stop. However, Carol is reluctant to go there because she's famous on that planet for all the wrong reasons. This planet is called Aladna, not Aladdin, Aladna. This is by far the strangest and silliest planet in the entire Marvel universe. Why is it silly, you may ask? Well, it's because their language is song. Everyone on that planet sings, and then if you talk normally, they will look at you funny. Walt Disney Studios presents The Marvels. See it in theaters or watch it on Disney Plus with a ludicrous premiere access fee that's dead in the water. But who gives a fuck, because I'm Bob Iger. I don't know if it was Bob Iger's idea to have a musical planet in an MCU movie, but this entire scene is just straight up laughably ridiculous. I guess this is something that a nostalgia critic would call a big-lipped alligator moment. Yeah, I can sing fine. I've done it in a few videos on this channel, as well as in Sonic Boom. I can sing pretty good too. I mean, G convinced me to try out for the Metropolis University Chorus Club. I did pretty good, but I don't classify myself as a singer, because I'm more proficient in science than music. I've sung anime songs in Japanese, but that doesn't count. As for English language singing, I'm alright. I'm not as good as Josh Groban, but not as awful as Justin Bieber either. I performed in musical theater in middle and high school, but I was not in any lead roles. I was just one of the background singers. I'm a tenor. How's about you? Oh, please. Do I look like I sing soprano or alto or any of that shit? No? Exactly my point, Seanic. I've always wondered what the four of us would sound like if we were to just spontaneously burst out into song. Probably sing a 4-part canon. Luckily for me, I found a song that we could try out. Just get it out of the way so we can get back to reviewing the Marvels. It'll be really quick. It goes,
I love the flowers. I love the daffodils.
I love the flowers. I love the daffodils.
I love the mountains. I love the rolling hills.
I love the mountains. I love the rolling hills.
I love the fireflies when the lights are low.
I love the fireflies when the lights are low.
Singing a do wop a do wop a do wop a do.
Singing a do wop a do wop a do wop a do.
Singing a do wop a do wop a do wop a do.
Singing a do wop a do wop a do wop a do.
I've always wanted to do this.
Okay, David, you made your point. Now can we please get back to reviewing the Marvels?
Hold on, Seanic. So I will sing the first part, Sonic will be next, then Seanic, and finally Calvin.
Come on, guys, this will be fun. It'll give us a chance to let off some steam. Alright, if you say so.
Come on, Seanic, you always wanted to do this, right?
I guess, but since the Marvels visited a musical planet, I figured, what the hell, let's sing.
That's the spirit, Seanic. Now remember, flowers, mountains, fireflies, and 2 doo-wops. If Eggman films me singing with you guys, it'll be much better than being filmed vomiting. Okay, remember, me, Sonic, Seanic, Calvin. Let's begin! I love the flowers, I love the daffodils, 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 I love the I love the rolling hills. I love the fireflies when the lights are low. Singing a I love the mountains. I love the dew. Singing a I love the fireflies. I love the daffodils. I love the flowers. I love the daffodils. I love the mountains. I love the rolling hills. I love the fireflies when the lights are low. Singing a doo-wop-a-doo, wop-a-doo, wop-a-doo. Singing a doo-wop-a-doo, wop-a-doo, wop-a-doo.
Out of all the shenanigans I catch Sonic doing, I see him singing about flowers and mountains as if he were Julie Andrews from The Sound of Music.
Actually, Shadow, Julie Andrews' character in The Sound of Music is named Maria.
Silver! We agreed never to mention that name around me!
Ah! I did Howie, Shadow!
So, Sonic, I heard your little song there.
It was David's idea. It's a song I came across on TikTok one day. It goes like this. I love the flowers, I love the daffodils, I love the mountains, I love the rolling hills, I love the fireflies when the lights are low, singing a doo-wop-a-doo, wop-a-doo, wop-a-doo, singing a doo-wop-a-doo, wop-a-doo, wop-a-doo.
I don't sing!
I wasn't asking you to sing. I beg to differ. You sang a Frank Sinatra song at that bathrobe party.
That was one time, Silver! One fucking time!
You were in the moment when you got up there and sang.
So, just because I sang a song at a questionably themed party doesn't mean I sing everywhere I go. I am not Troy Bolton!
I didn't say you were a Shadow, but I did hear that you and Amy sang a song at her birthday party. A Taylor Swift song. I think it was Anti-Hero.
It's me. Hi. I'm the problem, it's me. At tea time, everybody agrees. I'll stare directly at the sun, but never in the mirror. It must be exhausting, always rooting for the anti-hero.
Aha! So you can sing!
Alright, I admit it. I am the ultimate life form, but I do have soft spots.
Also, why are you guys singing? Because there's a planet in the Marvels where it's a musical planet, and its inhabitants use song as their language. That makes sense. Are you coming to the tree where they strung up a man, they say, who murdered 3? Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree.
Wrong movie, Silver! We're seeing the Marvels, not the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And don't sing for our tickets. Unlike the time you sang for our Barbie tickets, I wanted to yank my ears out from hearing you sing!
Fuck off, Shadow! Alright, enough singing. Let's get back to talking about the Marvels.
Good idea, Seanic!
So yes, Aladdin is a musical planet, and apparently Carol married their prince, who is bilingual. He can communicate not only with song, but also normal talking. Plus, we actually get to hear Brie Larson sing. Brie Larson actually sang in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, so I think this is Brie Larson's natural singing voice, and not auto-tune, along with Emma Watson in 2017's Beauty and the Beast. Overall, this scene is just straight up silly and ridiculous. We couldn't stop laughing, not because it was funny, but because of how batshit ridiculous it was. After that ridiculous scene, Darben reaches the planet in an attempt to use a jump point to steal the planet's water supply. And then, it's up to the Marvels to kick ass and save the universe. All while they are trying to get used to swapping places when using their light-based abilities. Darben just can't stop referring to Carol as the Annihilator, because of how she destroyed Hala's resources after destroying the Supreme Intelligence after the events of Captain Marvel. The Marvels even commandeer a Kree ship, and they make it through a jump point. And there, Kamala quotes Dead Poet Society saying, "Oh, Captain, my Captain." And she even quoted Jack Sparrow earlier on in the movie saying, "We have a heading." And then a pretty heartbreaking scene where Carol takes full responsibility for destroying Hala's resources as a consequence of destroying the Supreme Intelligence, and how this has driven her away from Monica after so many years, leaving her waiting years to reunite with her again. And then, the events of WandaVision took place. They then realized that Darben is after the Air's sun, so that she could bring sunlight back to Hala, but the world would be complete darkness in the process. And then, we see that Goose has been laying eggs on aboard the Sabre space station, and thus, a bunch of lurking kittens are born. So what's the best way to evacuate everyone from the space station and back to Earth? by having them get eaten by flurkins, all while Barbra Streisand's cover of Memory from the musical Cats plays in the background. Oh god, I do not want to be reminded of that nightmare fuel known as 2019's Cats! I don't know what's worse, that entire movie or the naked mole rat Seanic. It's a good thing we never saw that movie, otherwise that would have given Eggman another opportunity to film me vomiting my brains out. Yeah, I am staying the fuck away from that movie. Same here. I've seen a bunch of crappy movies in my lifetime, like Batman and Robin, Green Lantern, Fan Fuck Up 4, Morbius, The Last Airbender, Dragon Ball Evolution, 2016's Assassin's Creed, the 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie, the Emoji Movie, The Rise of Skywalker, Eternals, and The Flash, to name a few. But 2019's Catch, absolutely fucking not. I do not want to be forced to watch that eyesore and end up vomiting my brains out. So yeah, the Florkins eat the crew members because there's only one escape pod left, and it can only fit so many Florkin kittens, as well as Kamala's family. When they land in New York, the Florkins spit out the crew members, and is right near the Statue of Liberty, where the final battle of Spider-Man No Way Home took place. Spider-Man No Way Home was definitely the best film of Phase 4, but out of the films we got for Phase 5, I say Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is the best one. But soon, that title will be given to Deadpool 3. As for shows, I say WandaVision is the best show of Phase 4, and the best Phase 5 show, while we only got 2, is the second season of Loki, because everyone knows that Secret Invasion was horrible. Exactly, and we've already bitched and moaned about Secret Invasion enough in this video. But when we eventually get Armor Wars, it'll require a rewatch of Secret Invasion, but for the Marvels, no. And then the final battle between the Marvels and Dar-Benn, where she steals Kamala's bangle and combines the two of them to open a jump point to an alternate universe. Yay, the fucking multiverse is back! It's called the Multiverse Saga for a reason. I'm sure audiences are sick of it by now. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man No Way Home, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and the fucking Flash! I still say the worst portrayal of the multiverse in movies is none other than the Flash, but in the Marvels, it's shown at the very end of the movie. When Dar-Benn flies over to the jump point, she disintegrates, and Kamala now has both quantum bands and puts them on. Monica then comes up with a plan to close the jump point from the other side, leaving her stranded in another reality. So Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel combine their powers, and they power up Monica so she can fly over to the jump point and close it. And when Carol tries to rescue her, it's too late. She's lost in another reality with no way back. So then, Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel land back in New York to regroup with Nick Fury and Kamala's family. And Kamala's family moves into Monica's old home in Louisiana. Afterwards, Carol flies back to Hala and uses her powers to restore the resources after what happened with the Supreme Intelligence at the end of Captain Marvel. And then, an unexpected cameo from Kate Bishop, straight out of the Hawkeye Disney Plus series. There, Kamala goes up to her and asks her to form a team with her, and a bunch of young superheroes, including Cassie Lang. This is a setup for the Young Avengers. That team would mostly consist of Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, Cassie, Billy and Tommy Maximoff, and America Chavez from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Speaking of the Multiverse of Madness, Monica wakes up in an alternate universe where we see her mother Maria, alive and well. And the biggest shock in the entire movie, Kelsey Grammer reprising his role as Beast from the X-Men movies. First, Patrick Stewart in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and now Kelsey Grammer in the Marvels. Well, I'll be damned. It appears the X-Men have made their way into the MCU to be redeemed after an abysmal run with Dark Phoenix and the New Mutants. It honestly should have ended then and there with Logan. Logan was the perfect ending, and they had to make the pointless decision of making Dark Phoenix and the New Mutants. The New Mutants is the very definition of wasted potential. It was immediately after they axed the X-Men series altogether, but they still had to release the New Mutants during the worst possible time. Exactly, COVID was still a thing, and we all had to wear masks. While COVID is still technically a thing, and not a whole lot of people wear masks anymore. When was the last time you wore a mask, Sonic? It was last year when I got a booster shot for COVID. Sonic got his at the same time, and we both had masks on. Around that point, we were used to the feel of wearing paper medical masks. Of course, when COVID first hit and the pandemic began, we decided not to take our masks off for a few days, even going as far as sleeping with our masks on. And with every meal, we had to lower our masks and wear them on our chins. Yes, we get it. Masks are the worst. Now, are we ready to wrap up here? Sorry, David. So yes, that was the Marvels. What do we think of it? Well, it was kind of a mixed bag if I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Not one of Marvel's best, and not one of the worst either. It's clearly no Captain America the Winter Soldier, and it's no Eternals either. At least it was miles better than Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. The Marvels definitely had its moments, and it was nice to see Carol Danvers team up with two other heroes who had their own stories to tell on Disney+. There should have been a huge sign on the door saying, "Stop! Before you see the Marvels, please watch every episode of WandaVision and Miss Marvel on Disney Plus so you do not get spoiled." But since not a whole lot of people saw Miss Marvel prior to this, then I guess they have no choice but to walk in and see the movie while not knowing jack shit about Miss Marvel. The musical plant was by far the most ridiculous scene in the entire movie, and there's a bunch of pointless fetch quests that add nothing to the story. And a wasted cameo from Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie. All she did was pop in, say hi, and leave. It's like the MCU is heavily reliant on cameos nowadays. Cameos that go almost nowhere, but do stay for the mid-credit scene. That mid-credit scene is worth the price of admission alone, but everything else, it was alright. Nothing to write home about. Yeah, this movie was definitely a mixed bag for sure. It had its moments, but the villain was the most forgettable on-screen villain in any superhero movie to date. Even more forgettable than the villain in Black Adam. There, I said it. When your villain is just not as memorable as Thanos or Kang the Conqueror, and you just scrape the bottom of the barrel, it doesn't always work. Dar-Ben was just a dollar store version of Ronan the Accuser. She had a similar weapon to Ronan, and she is a Kree. Exactly! Don't try to copy off of other villains across the MCU. It'll just make you look pathetic in comparison. The Marvels, while fun, had a very forgettable villain, the costumes could have been better, and some scenes were just straight up ridiculous. But the best thing about this movie is definitely Iman Vellani as Kamala Khan. She's like the heart and soul of the movie, and she just has that giddy optimism to her, in a similar way that Tom Holland was introduced as Spider-Man in Captain America Civil War. I'm giving the Marvels a B rank. Yeah, a B rank would be best for this film. It was still a fun time though, but I think we're gonna hold off on film reviews for a while. Why? Because I want 2024 to mostly be dedicated to projects and shit. If we were gonna post film reviews on this channel, it would mostly be those other kinds of reviews I do on this channel. And what if we want to do our own reviews too? Well, we're definitely doing Sonic the Hedgehog 3, obviously, but Deadpool 3, I can see us doing. Everything else, I'm not sure. So far, for 2024, only 2 Sonic and Sonic film reviews are planned, and they are Deadpool 3 and Sonic the Hedgehog 3. So what do we want to do now, guys? Probably head back to 76 Knothole Drive, put our bathrobes on, and catch up on the second season of Loki. Sounds like a plan, Sonic.